Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the next game, the 1977 National League replay, where we pick one game a day, play it on inside pitch, use the Strat computer to sim the rest of the games that day. Today's game from April 28th will be from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. It's going to be the San Francisco Giants against the Houston Astros. Pitching matchup, John Montefusco for the Giants and Joaquin Andujar for the Houston Astros. So without further ado, let's get this ball rolling. Montefusco. Well, first we'll show the starting lineups. You can see the starting lineups right here. Benches and bullpens for both teams. All right, so Gonzalez will lead things off, second baseman. Hello, Ben. Good to see you. Got our giant colored dice as best I could get. Hello, Mr. Robert. Good to see you. I don't know where these crown things are coming from. I wish they would go away. I don't know how to get rid of them, so apologize for that. I don't know how they got there or what they're doing or what their purpose is, and I don't care. All right, here we go. Montefusco, 6'6", and that's a strikeout plus to Gonzalez, who's a righty. He strikes out at a 7. Stadium takes one away, makes it a 6. The plus makes it a 16. That's a 5. And so Montefusco puts away Julio Gonzalez to start the ball game here by the bay in Candlestick Park. Here's Enos. Whoops. Getting ready to drop a die here. I did drop a die. I sure did. All right, I'll have to figure out how to turn that off. I'm not sure how to do it after the video. Maybe I'll tool around in the menu items and figure out how to get. I don't remember I know I didn't turn it on. If I did it by accident. So, all right, here's Cabell. 1-6. That's a possible error on a throw. Cabell, 6-6, single to left field. That's a base hit. Now, I know the updated version, the left fielder could make a throwing error, but I don't buy it. I ain't playing it that way. Left fielder in this case would have been Evans. He's a 12, and that is a 12. He would have had a throwing error, but I'm not doing that. I think it's rather ridiculous in my own opinion. So, like I say, play the game the way you want to play it. Oh, all live. Okay, so it's not something I can control, apparently. Okay, never mind. Well, I guess I can't try to get rid of it then. All right, Cabell attempt is a 9 plus 3 for Montefusco, makes him a 12. And he gets the lead. He's a 13 plus 2 from Montefusco is a 15. Catcher Sadek is a -1 for a 14. 1 to 14, Cabell steals. And he does. Stolen base for Cabell. He is in scoring position for Cesar Cedeno. Montefusco 5-3 is a possible error on a ground ball. Cedeno 6-1 fly to right. That's 2 away. Now to tag up on a fly ball to right field, to go from second to third, you lose 1 on your run rating. He runs at a 4, becomes a 3. Jack Clark is a -2 arm, so the only way he gets there is on a 1. And he can't get there. He's got to hold. So Cabell has to hold. 2 down for Willie Crawford in his Oakland A garb. For 1, that's a blank. We go to Crawford. 2-4, and that's a single to right field for Crawford. We'll see if that's going to score. Again, Jack Clark, a -2 arm. Cabell is a 4. There are 2 outs, makes him a 5. The -2 makes him a 3. Single to right field, you add 1 more, makes him a 4. So 1 to 4, and Crawford will drive home Cabell. That's a 5. Cabell has to hold. So Jack Clark's good arm prevents a run for sure, because Cabell most likely would have gone to third on the fly out and then scored on the single. But Jack Clark's good arm really took care of that. All right, here is Jose Cruz. Runners on the corners, 2 down. 2-3, and against a left-hander, rather, that's a walk chance. 13, he walks at an 11. Too high. We go to Cruz. For 1, power result to left against a right-hander goes to 18. That's a 19. So just missed it. Would have been almost a triple to left field, but way back there at the warning track in left field, Darrell Evans makes a nice running catch, and the Astros get denied here in the first. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. I would say something about Astros being Steeler fans' team, but Steeler fan doesn't like me, so poo-poo on that. All right, so here is Darryl Thomas. And the feeling is mutual, by the way. All right, here's Andujar to Thomas. 5-5. That's wild pitches, ball 1. Thomas 3-4, and that's a star 2. Ground ball to short. 1 away. Here's Tim Foley back on his proper team now. He was with the Expos to start the season, but now he's got his proper uniform on. 4-3, and that is a strikeout chance. 3, got him. He's a 4. Stadium takes away 1, but the 3 still fits. Foley doesn't strike out much, but he sure did right here. 2 away, and that brings up Bill Madlock. 5-2, and that is a strikeout chance. 11, way too high for Madlock. 6-2 is a star 4, ground ball to third. 1-2-3 inning for Joaquin Andujar, and at the end of 1, no score. Hello, Dav. Good to see you. And for those that are curious, the last 2 games of the month in this replay for the National League. We're at April 28th right now, so the April 29th and April 30th games, it'll be the Braves at the Cardinals for the 29th and Cubs at Reds for the 30th. And then we'll do a big recap of the month of April. I'll go over the standings. I'll go over the records for each team on the board and kind of close out the month. All right, Montefusco back out, and he'll be facing Bob Watson. 1-2, and that is going to be a blank. It's a home run to a lefty, but Watson's a righty, so it's a blank. Watson 5-6, and that's against a righty, is a ground ball to short. Foley makes the play. 1 away for Ed Herman, catcher. 1-6, possible error on a throw. 2-3 is a fly to center, no throw to worry about. Although I guess the center fielder could have thrown the ball away in the infield when nobody's on base just because he can't throw the ball. So I think I beat that horse to death. Hello, Scooney. Montefusco to Sparing. 5-6 is a blank. 5-3, ground ball to pitcher. Innings over. I think that's wasted brain cells by Chris, but that's just my opinion. Trying to find crap when there's no crap to be found. Instead of improving on the couple of things they could improve on, they delve into more crap. So be it. Here's Darrell Evans. 6-5, and that's an automatic out. And for Andujar, it will be a ground ball to second. 1 away. Was it the 77 Giants, Scooney, or a different year? Or was it inside pitch? Was it Strat or was it something else? 5-6, that's a automatic out to McCovey. 08 Giants, okay. Inside pitch 08 Giants, cool. All right, automatic out to McCovey, and that's also a ground out to second. 2 down. That'll bring up Jack Clark. 1-4, and that's a blank to a righty. Well, he must have really did well against left-handed pitching, did Andujar, despite being a right-hander, because he's got automatic outs here against lefties, and he's a right-handed pitcher. So that's kind of weird. Clark, 5-3, ground ball to short. I'm sure the stats back it up. But just off the top of my head, you would think it would be the other way around, but I guess he had reverse splits in that particular season. And so nothing doing through 2 innings here at Candlestick. Hello, Ernest. Good to see you. Montefusco out to face the pitcher, Andujar. He throws right-handed, but he bats as a switch hitter. Very rare switch-hitting pitcher. 2-4, and that's the ballpark card. First time going to Candlestick. And we got a 3-3. It's a home run to the pull side, but of course he has a 0 rating, so it's just a fly ball to right field, as he is a switch hitter batting left-handed. So it's a fly ball to right. 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Gonzalez. 1-3. Wild pitch means it's a blank. We go to Gonzalez. 4-2. Ground ball to third. 2 down as Matlock takes care of it. Here's Cabell. Hello, Larry. Good to see you. 1-5. Back to the ballpark card again. 4-6. That's a single to right field for Enos Cabell, and his attempt is a 12. He's already stolen 1 base. He's looking to steal again. And he gets the lead again. It'll be a 13. Plus 2 is a 15. Minus 1 from the catcher is a 14. 1-14, he steals it. And this time he's caught stealing. Got a little greedy, I guess. But 1-14 are pretty good odds. Off the top of my head, I think it's like a 70% chance. So pretty good odds. It just didn't work out for him in that particular occasion. Doesn't mean it's a bad play. It means he got a bad roll. All right. Bottom of the third, it'll be Thomason, Sadek, and Montefusco. 2-6, and that's an automatic out to the lefty again. And the automatic out will be a fly to center field. 1 down, and here's Sadek. 3-2, and that's a strikeout opportunity against a right-hander. That's a 12. He's only a 10, so no. I'm sorry, he's only a 3, so no strikeout. 5-5, and that's going to be a star 1, and that's a ground ball to second. 2 down. I'll bring up Montefusco, the count. He is a 122 hitter in 1977. 4-4 is a strikeout, and he got it. Second strikeout for Andujar, and after 3 innings, we got nothing going on. So the last couple games I've had in inside pitch and strat in particular have been pitching duels. Especially if you saw the last 2 strat games, they were really good pitching duels. All right, top of the fourth we go. Cesar Cedeno was at the plate when Cabell was caught stealing, so he will lead off. 6-2 is a blank. We go to Cedeno. 6-2 again, fly ball to center field. And Thomason puts it away. 1 away for Willie Crawford. 2-1 is a blank to a lefty. Crawford. 5-4, ground ball to second. Easy play for Darryl Thomas. 2 down, and Jose Cruz, your batter. 5-4, and again, that's a blank to a lefty. Go to Cruz. 4-2, ground ball to third. Matlock takes care of it, and it's a quick, easy inning for the count. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, still no score. And Andujar will be facing the top of the order, Thomas, Foley, and Matlock. 2-4, that's a possible error on a ground ball. That's a 1-4, ground ball to first, possible error. First baseman error rating. Watson, his error rating's a 4. That is a 4. It will be an error on Bob Watson. He tried to field it and flip to the pitcher covering Andujar, but he lost control of it and bobbles it for an error. So E3, and now we'll look at Thomas to get a lead. He needs a 4 or less. Does not get that, so he will hold. Here's Foley. I thought he was a good bunter. I know in 79 he was a good bunter. I guess he hadn't had a good bunting yet. He's only rated as a 2 in 77. So Andujar, 6-6 range play. Go to Foley. One, 2. That's a liner to third. We're checking the range of Cabell. His range is only showing a 2, so this could be problematic. And he doesn't get it. That's going to get by him. So a failed range on an L5 Look at the chart. Failed range play on an L5. We go over here and see if it's a single or a double. It's a double down the line. Double down the line for Foley. We'll see if Thomas can score. He runs at a 4. The left fielder arm is Crawford. He's a 0. And a double score from first. You lose one's a 3. So 1-3, and the run will score. It does not. In fact, there's a 6. He might be out trying to score. So the arm in left field for Houston, Crawford's a 0. So 1-3, we go to this third chart. 4-6, he holds. And we're going to go to the third throw chart. And that's a 4, means the runner is out. So Thomas is going to be out trying to score. We call it 7-6-2. And Foley cannot advance because the 4 is higher than his BR rating. So he will stay at second base. So 1 away. And here is Bill Madlock. 1-4, and that's a blank. We go to Madlock. 6-6, that's a single to left. Now can the run score this time? Foley only runs at a 2. Single to left, you gain 1, makes it a 3. Left fielder arm, again, is Crawford a 0. So 1-3 scores. He does. So this time it's an RBI for Bill Madlock, and the Giants lead it 1-0. Still only 1 out. Madlock's attempt is a 3. Cannot get the lead, so that brings up Darrell Evans. 1-6, that's an automatic out to the lefty. And it's a 2, ground ball to short, possible double play. He's a 2, 0, halfway is a 3. The pivot at second is sparing. He's a 0. 1-3, it's a double play. And they don't do it. It's the only play is to first base. So Madlock will take second on the 6-3 ground out. So 2 away and a runner at second base. 1 run is in for Willie McCovey. 2-2 is a blank. We go to McCovey. 2-4, that's a liner right to Andujar to end the inning. But the Giants break through with a run on the RBI single from Bill Madlock. And at the end of 4, it is Giants 1, Astros 0. Montefusco back out. We'll be facing Watson, Herman, and Sparing. 4-4 is a pitcher result. He's a righty. 1-3 is a single. That's a 4. It's going to be a blank. Whoops. Go to Watson as soon as I don't drop my die again. 1-4. So 5-3 is going to be a ground ball to first against the right-hander, 1 away. So that brings up Herman. 4-5, that's a potential walk. 17, though, is way too high for that. So Herman, 6-3, star 4, ground ball to Madlock at third. 2 down for Rob Sparing. 4-4, that's a pitch result again. 1-3 is a single. That's a 14, so we go to Sparing. 6-1, fly to right. Clark puts it away. Inning's over. Astros dispatched pretty quickly. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 1-0 Giants lead. And Jack Clark will lead off for the guys by the bay. 4-4 is a strikeout chance. 13 is going to get him. He's a 14 minus the 1. It still fits. And that's a strikeout for Andujar. That is his 3rd strikeout. Brings up Gary Thomason. 6-5, and that's an automatic out to the lefty once again. And it will be a fly to left as Crawford puts it away. So Andujar has a thing getting those lefty hitters out. I don't know what it is. I got to check his stats because his card is loaded with automatic outs versus left-handed batters. Here's Sadek. 6-5. He's not a Sadek this time's a righty, so it's a blank. We go to Sadek. 4-2, single to right field. And that's an important single because now you can allow Montefusco to bat. Strategy roll, but nothing's happening. So Montefusco is going to hit with 2 outs. Clear him out of the way, and you can have Thomas lead off the next inning. 3-5 is going to be a possible error on the throw. 5-4 is a G6 or a star 6, which is a fly to center to end the inning. So Montefusco is out, but it will allow the single by Sadek will allow Daryl Thomas to lead off the bottom of the 6 instead of the pitcher. So that was pretty important. It's the little things in baseball that stand out sometimes. And that's one of them, the number 8 hitter getting that 2-out single to push the lineup down the line. Here's Andujar. Andujar can face 27 batters. He's only faced 18. Only in the 6th inning, and it's 1977, so Andujar will swing away. Will not pinch hit for Andujar just yet. 5-4 is a blank because he's a switch hitter batting left, so it's a blank. Now we go to Andujar. 2-2, star 4 is a ground ball to Madlock. And there's one away. Back to the top of the order, Julio Gonzalez. 2-6, strikeout chance, 6 got him. He's a 7, -1 to 6 fits. And that is only the second strikeout for Montefusco. And that'll bring up Cabell. He is 2 for 2 with a stolen base and a caught stealing. 5-5 is a strikeout chance, 16 is too high. 3-3, power result to left. Against a right-hander, goes to 19. That's a 15. It's a triple for Enos Cabell. A 3-3, power result to left. 15 to 19 is a triple, and that's a 15. So it's a 2-out triple for Enos Cabell. He is 3 for 3, 2 singles and a triple. And now Cedeno has a chance to tie the game just by getting a base hit. 2-4, and that's a ballpark card, so we're going to Candlestick for the Cedeno at bat. 2-4, and that's a single to center field, and that's going to tie the ball game. So the 2-out triple by Cabell, followed by a Cedeno single, ties the score at 1. Here in the top of the 6th, Cedeno, attempt of 14. And he will get the call to steal. 16 plus 2 is an 18, -1's a 17. 1 to 17, he's safe. And he is. It's a possible error on Sadek. His error rating is a 3. No throwing error. It'll just be a stolen base for Cedeno. He's in scoring position with 2 outs for Willie Crawford. Montefusco 1-3, wild pitch. His wild pitch rating's a 10. That's a 12. It's a possible pass ball, and it most likely will be because Sadek is only a 1. And that's a 3. It will be a pass ball. They will move the runner to third base. So Crawford has a chance to give the Astros the lead. When he's not in the right uniform, it confuses me where team he's on. Okay. Thank you for that information, Robert. I figured there had to be a reason. So, all right, runner at third now after the pass ball. Montefusco to Crawford with 2 outs and a runner at third. 6-4, strikeout 12, too high. Crawford will swing away. 4-4, ground ball back to Montefusco, and the inning's over, but the Astros do tie it on a triple by Cabell and a single by Cedeno. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. It is a 1-1 ball game, brand new game. Top of the order for the Giants, Daryl Thomas. Hello, Jimmy Jam. Good to see you. Thomas, 1-4 against Andujar. And again, a switch hitter batting left is an automatic out. And the automatic out is a ground ball to third. Cabell handles it, no problem. 1 away. And here's Foley, 1 for 2. 6-6, range play. We're going to Foley for a range check. 4-5, and that's going to be a ground ball to third. We're checking the range of Cabell. His range is only a 2. 1-2 for Cabell. And he can't get it. Is it going to be a single or a double? It will be a double down the line for Tim Foley. It's the second time he's put one past Enos Cabell at third base, and he's found a liking to that area. So the 1-out double, and the Giants have a chance to reclaim the lead if Bill Madlock can do something. Cool, Jimmy. Good to have you aboard. Andujar, 1-1 is a blank. We go to Madlock. 1-4, single to center field. This could put them in the lead. Center fielder Cedeno does have a -2 arm, though. So Foley runs at a 2. The -2 makes him a 0. And the single to center, you gain 2, though. So it's back to a 2. So 1-2, he scores. And he does, and it's a 1. So Madlock has a chance to move up. And he does not. So it's a base hit for Foley. Well, let's see, the run rating of Madlock and the dive were the same. So I'm trying to remember on this thing here. If roll higher than trailing runners hold. Oh, he does move up because it wasn't higher. It was the same. So he takes the second on the throw. So Madlock goes to second on the throw. It's now 2-1 Giants. Yeah, I don't like that stuff. I don't know where that came from. If I had a way to cut it off, I'd do it. I don't know how to do it. But if somebody told me how to do it, I would do it. I think it's ridiculous. But hey, I guess YouTube wants to do what they want to do. All right, here is Andujar to Evans. 2-6. That's an automatic out against the lefty again. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Out number 2, Madlock will take third base with 2 outs. So that brings up McCovey. I don't know anything about the current White Sox broadcast. I don't even know who's doing the broadcasting anymore with them. I remember back in the day, it was Hawk Harrelson. I think he was on there with Wimpy, but I'm not sure. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. Andujar to McCovey, 5-5, is a possible wild pitch, but that's an 11, so there is no wild pitch. We go to McCovey to finish the at-bat. 5-3. Star 2 is a ground ball to short. And that's handled by Gonzalez to end the inning, but the Giants reclaim the lead. Double by Foley. The second RBI single by Madlock. So both runs in the 4th and 6th score the exact same way, a double by Foley and a single by Madlock. So those two have teamed up quite well. So top of the 7th we go. Montefusco can face 27 batters. He has only faced 22, so he's still in good shape. And Jose Cruz, 1-3 for Montefusco. That's a blank on a wild pitch. Cruz, 4-5, is a pop-up to second. And Darryl Thomas puts it away. 1 away for Bob Watson. 2-1 is a walk plus, so Watson will draw the free pass. And for Montefusco, that is his first walk of the game. Watson's attempt is a 4, but he's not going to go anywhere. And here's Ed Herman. 5-6, and that's a blank. Go to Herman. 3-3 is a fly to center. That's 2 away. And that'll bring up the shortstop, or rather second baseman, Sparing. Now, do they pinch hit for Sparing? We're in the 7th inning, so pinch hitting is allowed. So let's look at the bench for the Astros. Who could play second base? Well, they could bring in Art Howe to play second base. And they could bring in Ken Boswell to play second base. And who would they use to pinch hit? The only lefty they got on the bench is Art Gardner. He's not very good. Well, Boswell's not good either. He's lefty, but he's not very good either. They have 2 decent pinch hitters, Joe Ferguson and Art Howe. So I think they're going to pull Sparing and bring in Art Howe and let Art Howe stay in the game to play second base. So Art Howe is going to stay in the game to play second base after he pinch hits. And he's a 3-4-0. So Art Howe going to do the pinch hitting with 2 outs and a runner at first against Montefusco. Nothing on that. Here's the pitch from Montefusco, 4-5, and that is a walk chance. That's a 4, so Art Howe will draw the pinch hit walk. Second walk of the inning by Montefusco, and now this is where you get in the quandary for the National League. In the American League, Andujar would keep pitching, but you've got the tying run in scoring position with 2 outs. I think you have to pull the trigger and go to a better hitter. And they will go to Cliff Johnson. Cliff Johnson is going to be called in to pinch hit, and we'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be in the bottom of the 7th. But right now, Cliff Johnson is going to pinch hit in a big position. And this is batter 27 for Montefusco. He will be tired after facing Johnson. So if he doesn't get Johnson, he'll be tired as he goes into the top of the order. So Montefusco facing Cliff Johnson. 6-6 is a strikeout plus, and he got him. Really not fair to Cliff Johnson. I mean, he had no chance on that strikeout plus. So, but Montefusco doesn't care. He'll take it. And so will the Giants. So now the Astros will need a new pitcher. And looking at their bullpen, they have Forsch, Larson, McLaughlin, Necro from the right side, and Zambito from the left side. The Giants have Clark, Thomason, and Sadek, 2 righties and a lefty. So they really had a bullpen by committee. Nobody had more than 8 saves that's on the roster right now. So they are going to go to the guy that gives them the most length, and that's the knuckleballer, Joe Necro. Necro is going to come on and pitch in place of Andujar. And we'll get the numbers on Andujar. He goes 6 innings, and he's going to give up 2 runs. They were both earned. No home runs. He did not walk anyone, and he struck out 3, giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. So pitched pretty well, but just didn't get any run support. And that can be the case sometimes for these pitchers. They don't get the run support they need. And so Joe Necro will be on to face Jack Clark, try to baffle him with the knuckleball. 3-5, and that is a blank. So we go to Clark. 4-3, it's a ground ball to first, and Bob Watson will take it himself. 1 away. Here's Gary Thomason. 2-4 is a strikeout chance. 13's going to get him. So Thomason out on strikes. 2 down for Mike Sadek. 1-2. That's a straight up home run on Necro's card. Sadek is a 3. That's a 17. No home run, but Sadek will swing. And that's a 1-1. Star 4 ground ball to short to end the inning. So we go to the 8th. And I realize I skipped the 7th inning stretch, but that's okay. We can go. I'm on a roll, so I didn't really want to stop. Montefusco is going to come back out. He is now tired. So the Giant bullpen is loosening. And look at their bullpen for the Giants. They have Moffitt and Williams from the right side, along with Heverlo or Heverlo, however you pronounce it, Cornut. 2 lefties, Lavelle and Curtis. The main 2 guys are Moffitt and Lavelle. So coming up for the Astros is all right-handed hitting. So they do have in their bullpen, they do have actually the better pitcher. Well, he's got 11 saves. So Randy Moffitt's loosening in the bullpen for the Giants. But right now they're going to let Montefusco keep going. Frank, I think that's on the new rules, which I don't follow. All right, here is Montefusco to Gonzalez. 1-6, possible error on a throw. 3-6, and that's a single to third base. Base hit. I don't know if you, let's see, your error on a throw failed with a single is a number 9. All right, so the D20 was a 1, so it is an error. So it'll be a single plus an error. And that was a single to, I want to say it was to third base. Drawing a blank off the top of my head. Let me go back and look at this. For some reason I just drew a temporary blank. So let's go back just a touch and see if I can figure out what the heck happened. I'm pretty sure it's a single and an error, but I want to be 100% sure that it's a single and an error. Let's finish the at bat here. Okay, Sadek is done. All right, now coming up to lead off is Gonzalez. Let's bring back Gonzalez's card and figure out what the heck I rolled. Slight delay while I get this stuff straight, but I want to get it right. That's the important thing. So Gonzalez will be facing Montefusco. All right, let's see what the die roll was. 3-6 was the die roll. So 3-6 on Gonzalez was a single to third. Single to third. It was an error on the throw. But would there be a throw is the question. To me, there's no throw there. So how can it be an error? That doesn't make any sense now that I'm looking at it. Error on a throw, but on a single to third base, it says infield single. I guess infield single and they throw it away trying to get him at first base in a hurry. I guess that's the way to explain it. So it's a single plus an error on Bill Madlock. And that will put Gonzalez, the tying run, in scoring position with nobody out. So yeah, he was trying to hurry the throw to get the runner, and he threw it away. One base error. The thing doesn't ask about the receiver or anything like that, checking for a 2-base error. It just says 1 base error. So runner at second, nobody out for Enos Cabell. And now what do you do with Montefusco? If he hits a tired roll, then the tying run will score. So they're going to go ahead and pull Montefusco right here. And there will be a double switch, I do believe, because Randy Moffett would be scheduled to lead off next inning. So let's see if they have a defensive liability that we can remove. And Willie McCovey looks like that defensive liability. So coming in to play first base for the Giants, if they have anybody that can play first base besides McCovey, they got to have, I think Thomason can play first base. Let's check him out, and we can put somebody else in center field. Or we can put Darrell Evans at first. Actually, we're going to put Darrell Evans at first base. So McCovey's coming out. Darrell Evans will move to first base. And Darrell Evans at first base is a 2 and a 7. So he will now be at first base. Moffett will hit in McCovey's spot, the number 5 position. And now we need a new center fielder. I'm sorry, new left fielder for the Giants. And the left fielder will be, actually, they're going to bring in a new center fielder. Or do they go with no, you know what? They're going to go with the left fielder, Terry Whitfield. So Whitfield is going to take over in left field and bat ninth. he is a 4-0-0. So Whitfield is your new left fielder, and he will bat in the 9th position, which means he leads off in the bottom of the 8th. Moffitt is your new pitcher. He'll be facing Enos Cabell. 2-1 Giants, but the Astros threaten with the runner at second and nobody out for Enos Cabell. And now Moffitt. I don't think Gonzalez has any chance to steal here. No, he does not. So no D20 needed because there's no pickoff chances. Go straight to the bat. 4-2 is a range play at the park. We're going to Candlestick Park for a range play for Cabell. That's a 1-4. It's a single plus to left field. And how do you like that? You bring in a new left fielder and the ball finds him. Bring in a new left fielder and the ball finds him on the very first play. He's a 4. 1-4. He takes the hit away. He does not. It's going to drop 4 or 5. Gonzalez will score. That run is charged to Montefusco. We tie the game. And now Cabell will attempt a double. He's a 4. The arm of Whitfield's a 0. And he makes it for the double. So how about that? A RBI double from Enos Cabell. And we now have a tie ball game. 2-2. Take the win away from Montefusco. In fact, we can close the book on Montefusco. He goes 7+. We'll give up the 2 runs. Can't say this one's earned just yet because if he's at first base, he probably would not score on the double. You don't know that for a fact. We have to see what the rest of the inning is going to bring to see if that run's earned or not. So Cedeno stepping to the plate. Moffitt, 5-1. That's a blank. We go to Cedeno. I know the new rules say it's a star line, but I don't play it that way. 6-3, single pass second base. Will that score Cabell? He runs at a 4, so that should be plenty to score him second base. You only need a 3. Actually, you only need a 2. So Cabell scores. That does make this run earned now. So the 2 runs given up by Montefusco are both earned now. So Cedeno actually gives the Astros a 3-2 lead. His attempt is an 11 plus the 2 is a 13. That's a 1. So he's going to go as 16 plus 2 is an 18 minus 1's a 17. And he steals the base, stolen base for Cedeno. No, it's an earned run, Frank, because the single was already predicted. The error did not put him on base. The error put him at second base. He had already gotten the single, and the original result was a single. The error just merely got him to second, but the double and now the single means he would have scored from first anyway, so the run ends up being earned. So Cedeno steals second base, nobody out, and here's Willie Crawford. I don't need the strategy because he doesn't have anything down there. 2-4, and that's a blank to a lefty Crawford. 5-4, that's a fly to center field. That is out number 1. To tag up, you lose 2. So Cedeno's a 3. He drops to a 1. Center fielder Thomason's a 0. On a 1, he can move up. He cannot. He's got a hold. So Crawford not deep enough to move him up. 1 down for Jose Cruz. 5-4. That's a range play. Infield is back. 5-6. That's a fly to center field. The range of Thomason is a 3. 1-3. He makes the play. He does. So Thomason makes that play. 2 down again. Cedeno can move up on a 1. And he cannot do it. He has to hold. So 2 down for Bob Watson. 6-2 is a blank. Go to Watson. 1-5, and that's a ground ball back to Moffitt to end the inning. But the Astros take a 3-1 lead, or 3-2 lead rather, as we go to the bottom of the 8th. do the numbers now real quickly on Montefusco. See what he gave up. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He walked these 2 here, and that's the only 2 walks I see. So he walked 2, struck out not that many. I'm only seeing 3 strikeouts. All right, so Negro back on the mound here in the bottom of the 8th. He now has a 3-2 lead to protect. Frank, Stratomatic will probably always be my favorite, but this one's right there with it. With a few modifications, this would be my main game, but we don't have those modifications, and we never will. So I'm just going to put it in my 1B slot, and right behind Stratomatic. All right, Necro to Whitfield, 1-3. That's an automatic out for Necro on the star line. And it's a fly to right. So Whitfield is retired. 1 down. Oops, let's bring this back down a little bit here. 1 away. And that brings up Daryl Thomas. 3-6 is a blank. We go to Thomas. 1-5. Star 6, and that's a fly to right field. So 2 down for Tim Foley. 221 hitter. Let's see if the Giants, I think they're going to be pinch hitting for Foley here. They need offense. So who is going to be the pinch hitter is the question. And they'll need a shortstop. Well, LeMaster is going to come in and play short after the fact, but they need a pinch hitter first. And looks like the best pinch hitter they have is Rob Andrews. So Rob Andrews will hit for Foley. So Andrews will pinch hit for Foley. And LeMaster will take over as the shortstop, where he is a 5E17. All right, so Andrews will get the call to pinch hit with 2 outs and the bases empty against Joe Negro. Hello, Mike in the truck. Hello, Marlon. 3-1 for Negro is a ballpark card. Going to Candlestick for the Rob Andrews at bat. 2-6 is a ground ball to second, and Julio Gonzalez makes the play, and the Giants go quietly in the 8th inning. So we go to the 9th. Due up for the Astros, it'll be Herman, Howe, and a pinch hitter for Negro. And it looks like Joe Sambito loosening up in their bullpen to come in and try to save it in the 9th. Let's see, Moffitt is going to come out because he pitched 5 innings, so they really need to get a fresher arm in there. And for the Astros, it'll be Herman, Howe, and a pinch hitter. So they're going to go with, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Heverlo or Heverlo. I always called him Heverlo, but it could be Heverlo. Right-hander, kind of a sidewinding right-hander. Let's see, a run is charged to Moffitt. He would be the loser if the Giants lose this game. Gave up 2 hits, and that's it. So Heverlo coming in to face Herman, Howe, and a pinch hitter for the Astros. And the pinch hitter will probably be Ken Boswell, I'm thinking. He's a lefty. All right, so Heverlo, 6-4, range play. Go to Herman. 3-6, fly to right field. That's Jack Clark. Clark is a 5, best you can have. And he makes the play. 1 down for Art Howe. Pinch hit for Sparing in the 7th and walked. 6-4, another range play. 3-6 is star 2, fly to left. This time we're checking the left fielder, and that's Whitfield. He's a 4. And again, Whitfield unable to get it. He's rolled 5 twice on his range checks. He's a 4, but both times 5 have come up. And it will be a single for Art Howe. So Art Howe singles. And now we need a pinch hitter for Niekro. And the Astros go to their bench. And they will call upon. Boy, Boswell's not a very good hitter, though. It's the problem. I want to keep Ferguson in reserve, though. He's a backup catcher. So we'll use Boswell. I think he's a former Met. So Ken Boswell will hit for Niekro, who stands a good chance to be the winner in this game. Strategy rolls, of course, are still on, as it's only a 1-run game. Heverlow to Boswell. 6-6 strikeout, 18 too high. Go to Boswell. 3-5, and that's a single past second base. So a pinch hit single for Boswell. To get from first to third, you need a, 3-5 was a second, so you need a 3 or better. Art Howe, let's check his running rating. Didn't write it in. He runs at a 3, so he will take third base. So now runners are at the corners with only 1 out for Julio Gonzalez. And now the infield in for the Giants. Can't assume a double play. 6-4 is a range play. So that means the infield is going to lose 2 for being in if it goes to the infield. 5-1, it's a power result to left. It goes to 16. That's a 20, so it's a fly to left. But once again, it's another range check for the left fielder, Whitfield. He was a 4. He's had 2 range checks since coming into the game. He's rolled 5 both times. Can he get to this one? Yes, he can, finally. So finally, Whitfield makes the play, 2 down. But is it a sacrifice fly is the question. Runner was on third. His sacrifice fly rating is a 1. That's not going to work. Runner Howe runs at a 2. Whitfield 0 arm. 1-2, it's still a sacrifice fly. It is not. So runner had to hold. 2 down, and now it's going to bring up Enos Cabell. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Heverlow trying to keep it a 1-run game. 4-5, and that's an automatic out, so he certainly did it against Cabell. And the automatic out will be a fly to left, so Whitfield hauls that in as well. So we're going to the 9th inning, last chance for the Giants. They trail it 3-2, and they will have Madlock, Evans, and a pinch hitter for Heverlow coming up. And for the Giants, the pinch hitter, the best pinch hitter they have is the backup catcher, Mark Hill. He's also got the most at bats, so it's going to probably be Mark Hill. So it's not going to be Sambito. It's actually going to be Ken Forsch. The Astros going to see if the Forsch is with them. So Ken Forsch will get the call. So Heverlow pitches 1 inning, gives up 2 hits and no runs. No walks, no strikeouts. Niekro went 2 innings, and he retired all 6 he faced with 1 strikeout. So he would qualify for the win. Forsch would qualify for the save, and Moffitt would take the loss if the score stands where it is right now. So it's Madlock, Evans, and Mark Hill due up for the Giants. Bill Madlock trying to get it started. All right, Frank, you have a good one. Will there be any 9th inning magic, as some famous person is apt to say? 2-3 is a blank on Forsch. We go to Madlock. 1-6, that's a single to short. So tying run is on base right away. Madlock's attempts is a 3. Does not get the lead. Here comes Darrell Evans. He could win it with 1 swing of the bat. 2-1, and that's an automatic out against the lefty Evans. What is that automatic out? It is a 5. It is a fly to center. One down, and here's Mark Hill. He is pinch hitting for Heverlow. So Mark Hill, your pinch hitter. Five, 4 is a hit by pitch chance. He's a 0 plus 3, so that's going to fail. We go to Hill. 1-4, ground ball to second. Could be a double play that ends the game. He's a 3. Halfway is a 4. The pivot at short is going to be Gonzalez, and he's a 0. So it's a 1-4, and this game is over. It's a 6, so the only play is to first base. 4-3. Matlock will move up, and now Jack Clark is up with the tying run at second base and 2 outs. Would they dare walk Jack Clark to face a lefty Thomason? That's the question. I think you almost have to pitch to Clark here. So Forsch pitching to Clark, game on the line, tying run on second base in Matlock, who runs at a 3, so he's a pretty good runner. I don't think there's anybody on the bench that's better. I don't see any speed demons. Nope, 3 is the best they have on the bench, so we're going to stick with Matlock as the runner. Forsch, 6-2, that's a walk plus to Clark. And so he will, it's not intentional, but he will walk Clark. And now that brings up Thomason. And now, do they bring in the left-hander Sambito to face Thomason? Because the Giants, if they went to the pinch hitting, they would go to Randy Elliott, who really he really is excellent against lefties. Double there and 20 there for a home run. So if you bring in, this is where you play a little chess here. If you bring in Sambito, the Giants can counter by bringing in Elliott. So the question is, do you want Force to face Thomason, or do you want Sambito to face Elliott? Thomason is 0 for 3 in the game. He is a .256 hitter with 17 home runs. Force a .272 ERA. What about Sambito? Sambito, if I can find his card. Where did you go, Sambito? There he is. 233 with 7 saves. They're going to bring in Sambito. They're going to force the Giants' hand. So Sambito is going to come on to try to nail it down for the Astros. And the Giants will turn around. They could use Herndon or Elliott. They got 2 different right-handers they could bring in. They're both pretty equivalent, but Elliott's got the most power. Elliott's 240, Herndon 239, but Elliott has more power. So they will bring in Elliott to pinch hit for Thomason as the wheels are turning in both dugouts. So Elliott will come on to pinch hit for Thomason. And if the game goes extra innings, then, of course, Elliott would stay in the game and play left field, and they can move Whitfield to center field. But right now it is Sambito time. Forsch goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up a hit and a walk. No strikeouts. Don't know about the runs. So 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, 2 on, and Randy Elliott, the pinch hitter against Joe Sambito, the new pitcher. Strategy roll for Sambito, nothing happening. Sambito to Elliott, 3-4, and a 3-4 is a straight-up home run against a right-handed batter. He's a 20. This ball game is over. Randy Elliott, a 2-run home run, pinch hit, 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th against new pitcher Joe Sambito, and the Giants walk it off. Look at it again. 3-4 is a right-handed home run. Right-handed home run. And Elliott against the lefty is a 20. The stadium doesn't change that. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Randy Elliott, a pinch hit 2-run homer. It will make a winner out of Dave Heverlow and a loser out of Joe Sambito. Sambito going to face 1 batter and give up the home run. 1 run charge to Force, but Sambito will take the loss as the Giants win it on a walk-off home run from Mr. Randy Elliott. And I don't know much about Randy Elliott, except I saw that 20 there and was like, whoa, that's a pretty good deal. So that's why we went with him instead of Herndon. All right, so let's get the totals and wrap this thing up. For the Giants, 4 runs. They do it on 7 hits. And were there any errors on the Giants? I don't think there were. I don't see any. Astros had the 1 error on the first baseman, Watson. The only error they had. 3 runs on 10 hits. So final line score for the Giants, 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. For the Astros, 3 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. This was the April 28th game. On April 29th and April 30th, we have these 2 games remaining. We have the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. And you're saying, why are you showing the Atlanta Braves? Well, I got to show these teams once in a while. I can't just not show them. So I figured this is a good time to get both these teams in. They aren't very good, so let's just show them and get them out of the way. And then on the 30th, we got the Cubs and the Reds. And then after that, we'll do a recap for the month of April, see how they're doing, see what the team's records are on the board. By the way, the Mets are 5-0 on the board. They are 5-0 on the board when they won their other game the other night against Pittsburgh. Against Montreal. And Montreal is 0-for on the board. So let's update the board on my Excel spreadsheet with the San Francisco victory. And that puts the Giants on the board with a record of 3-2. The Astros on the board dropped to 2-2. So Atlanta's only been I've only played 2 games on video with Atlanta, so they're the least played team, so they get the next chance. Cardinals have only had 3 games on the board, so they're one of the few totals also. Cubs and Reds have been on the board 4 times. That's about the average. The Mets have been on there 5 times. They've been the most. So, but the Mets don't show up for a while. It'll be a while before we see another Mets game. May 4th is the next Mets game. So, but on the board, the Giants are now 3-2, and the Astros dropped to 2-2. And of course, we'll try to max sim everything and get everything all lined up and figure it all out. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know Robert is thrilled about that. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Now, tonight is Wednesday, which means Friday is coming up soon. And on Friday Fun Day edition, I normally record these on Thursday to upload them on Friday. But since Friday is July 4th and a holiday, I think we're going to do that live this time around. And it will be game 1 of a World Series that never happened, but it'll be the Sparky Bowl between the 1976 Reds and the 1984 Tigers. I'm using the lineups of game 1 of each of those teams. So it'll be Don Gullett for the Reds and Jack Morris for the Tigers. It'll be in Cincinnati because in 1976, Cincinnati hosted game 1 of the World Series. And in 1984, the Tigers were on the road in the first game of their World Series. So we're giving the Reds the home field advantage in games 1 and 2. And 6 and 7, that's if I do all the whole series. I might just do it one and done, depending on how, it's supposed to be just a fun day Friday thing. So if I get, a lot of people ask me to do the whole thing, I might try to do the whole thing. But sometimes that's how it starts. It starts as one game, and all of a sudden I got a mini project going. So I don't know. But I haven't played payoff pitch in a while, and I thought that would be a good game to use because I bought the 76 and 84 seasons when they were on sale last year, and I haven't used them since. So I figured I better pull them out of the mothballs and use them and get some use out of them. So that's going to be coming up on Friday. Tomorrow, Stratomatic, I'm leaning towards the morning because when I did it this morning around 10:30, it was dead. So that's a dead area. I'm not going to do that time frame. I'm either going to do at lunch. I'll have to check Uncle Ron and see if he's streaming at lunch or not. If he's not streaming at lunch, I'll do it at lunch. If not, I'll do it in the morning. It'll be the Red Sox and the Mariners from Boston, Roger Clemens against Scott Bankhead, Stratomatic. So, but from here, inside pitch, I've got to input this into the Strat computer so I can get the updated win in the computer for San Francisco and get everything all lined up for that. So, I hope you all enjoyed this presentation of. Hello, K fan. Didn't see you in there. Sorry about that. I normally look at the chat, and I just didn't till the very last minute. But thank you all for coming in. So again, thank you for spending part of your Wednesday night with me. Hope you all are going to have a good July 4th weekend, whatever you all have planned. Just be safe out there. If you mess with fireworks, probably better to leave it to the professionals. Um, and if you happen to partake of certain beverages, try to do so in moderation. We want to see you around, uh, for a long time. So that's going to do it from here. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road. All right, Tabby.